Good morning. We're live this morning, and it is definitely morning. Jeff is here from Glendale, Arizona, and looks like there we go. There we go. People are popping on now. So let's go ahead and give Tiffany a treat so she behaves this morning. And what we're looking at today is the Spin-e-Fex one. This is actually the end of the Spin-e-Fex that we're going to do because we are now moving on after today. And let me show you the templates here and the front sheet. And I'm going to put them on this because it's easier for you to see them. Okay, I guess Teppy's not really satisfied yet. uh, awesome. Deanna's waiting for her delivery for Spin-e-Fex too. Yeah, it's been too hot to do anything. Yeah, I agree with you, Deanna. Good morning, Linda, my Michigander buddy, and Ronnie. Good morning to you from northeastern Arizona. And we have Debbie from Bloomington, Illinois. Nancy, good morning. And Lee is here from Springdale, Indiana. Lee, you're going to have to correct me on that. For some reason, I don't think that's right. But I think it has a spring something in the name. I'm not sure. And Kathy's here from Long Island. Welcome, Kathy, and good morning to everyone. Pam is here from Maine. Welcome, Pam. And what we learned from Pam is she does not live. She lives in the mountainous region of Maine where it's good skiing in the winter, right, Pam? Joey made it. Good morning. Spencerville, Indiana. Okay, so I was wrong. It isn't spring. Spencer Tracy. That's the way I'll try to remember it. Lisa's here from Sugarland, Texas. And Lisa lives near Pearland, Texas, which is where my cousin lived. And Susie's here from Arlington, Virginia. Welcome, Susie. Yeah, I know, Lee. I'm a little weird. It's so good to see you. Monica's from Durand, Illinois. And we only have one state separating us and Illinois, and that's Wisconsin. So why don't we go ahead and let's get started this morning, okay? Got a lot for you. This is probably one of my more favorite templates, the Spin-e-Fex one. And the reason being is we can have so much fun with embellishment with this template. Okay. Um, comes in 5 sizes, 3.5, 5.5, 7.5, 9.5, and 11.5, just like every other Spin-e-Fex. We have on the inside wonderful directions and what things look like on different rotations. Now, when you look at this and you look at this, you think to yourself, well, that's the same thing because it's both 16 rotations, but it's actually not. Okay, so and this one does come in the mini sizes as well. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we've got here. And what I've got is I have 16 reference lines here. Okay, Kathy's joined us. A cool morning in Texas. I'll bet you're really enjoying that. I know, I hope it's supposed to cool off up here sometime today. I'm going to wait patiently. So let's take a look. Spin-e-Fex. All of our Spin-e-Fex we can put on a tag if we want. And we might do that this morning. I'm not sure yet. But they have beautiful, this is the small one, so it's really easy to hold. And I don't know if I remember, I think I told you guys, but just as a reminder, when we get a big template like this, I can't hold my hands like this and and work effectively. Okay. I want my hands to be smaller and relaxed. I mean, I want them to be big coming out to the side so much, but I don't want my hands and my fingers, my thumbs to be going like this to the point that I'm actually stretching my hands to make it work. So putting an extra piece of staple tape in the center and then being able to stitch down, stop, move your hands down here and finish it out will keep you in control of this template at all times. If you're like this, it's going to be hard. Your hands are going to cramp up eventually and be very sore afterwards. If you go like this and stitch up here, you're basically losing control of your template, because if you push your foot at all against the template, you see how easy it's going to move. But if I'm up here, the fabric's going to move with it, right? So it really is a good practice to do that, not just on the Spin-e-Fex one, but any Spin-e-Fex or other template that you use. Well, we get enough stable tape to do that. So I suggest, let's not hoard the stable tape. Let's just make it easier on ourselves, right? Let's see. We got Erin here from Ohio. Her coffee is ready. Carla's here. Good morning, Carla from Oklahoma City. And Di, so glad you made it. No distractions this morning. Oh, isn't that lovely to be able to have some time just for yourself? I appreciate it very much. Mary Lou's here from Fredonia, New York, and my good friend Wanda's here from across town. So we are ready to make some templates, okay? So let's go ahead. The first thing I kind of want to do is I want to show you the difference between the smallest templates and the largest templates. I haven't done this in a while. This is something that I think is kind of fun to do. We're only going to use this half for the uh, rotation. So I'm just going to put a line and put my toys away as I'm using them. Makes life so much better. Okay, unless you forgot, you have to make another line. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to come in here. This is a rather narrow template. It's not real wide. So it's going to fit in a lot of spaces, one of them being your sashings or your bindings. There's a lot we can do with that as well. It would take a whole nother class to do that. Oh, Ronnie. Ronnie has to leave early. She has a surgery appointment. We'll watch later. Ronnie, I hope everything's going to be just fine. And keep us posted, please. We care about you and we want to make sure you're okay. All right. Okay, Kathy Rodriguez says, I like mixing up different size templates, and it is fun to do that, Kathy. I know I've showed you guys a couple times how to do that, and hopefully we'll do more of that in the future. Okay. Going to put my needle down at the crosshair. Bring my thread up and make one rotation. If I can get my bobbin thread to cooperate, it's acting like a 3-year-old. Okay, there we go. One stitch in place. And that's just for me. You guys don't have to do that. The reason that I do is because I make really long toe catcher stitches when I first start off. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to trim those threads off. Okay. There we go. And let's keep going now. With this template, I do like to keep my stitches short. Now, there's no doubt about it. It can be nasty if, in fact, you keep your stitches short and then you have to tear something out. And I'm sorry, it's the way it is. It just can get ugly. But if you keep your stitches short and you're successful, what happens is you have a beautifully curved line that is smooth as opposed to choppy when we, I could just slip that on, choppy when we make our stitches too large. And I'm going to turn this around, face it towards me, so it's easier for you all to see. Okay, lining up everything. Now, this is a 3.5. This is the 5.5. And you can actually do a Spin-e-Fex like this with different sizes. Like Kathy said, she likes to mix them up. And quite honestly, so do I. Nobody said we have to do it the way everyone else does it, right, Kathy? Do your own thing, make it your own. That's what's fun about this stuff. We can make up the rules as we go along. Isn't that great? Okay, and this is going to be the 7.5 inch now. Make sure I'm lined up. And you can just see the progression here. And if you did this on a design, like in 8 reference lines, how fun it would be to be able to pick out some awesome opportunities for template. It has been too long since I've done anything in Template. I've been itching to get back at it here because I love it. And I have quite a bit of Template fuse as well, so that helps. Okay, well, this is going to be our 9.5 inch now. Now remember, 9.5 inches is not the area from the bottom of the template to the top of the template. It is from the bottom of to the template to the top of the template, and then I should say, let's go tip to tip. If you have two template or two rotations stitched right next to each other, across from each other, it'll be 9.5. So if it's 9.5 all the way around, one of these at 9.5 inches is going to be 4 3/4. And here we go. There's our 9.5. Whoops. Kind of fell into it there. That's okay. It works. And remember, this is a good way to practice stitching them out. It's kind of cool if you can keep a library of stitches. And this is our 11.5, guys. And again, from here to here is 5 3/4. Now I'm going to stop about here with my needle down and move my hands because when I get past this, I don't feel as though I have control of the template. And you always want to have control over that template. There we go. And we're going to come down. I'm going to stop here again. And there we go. There's that little jiggle in my template there, but that was because I wasn't holding it properly. Okay, so let's go ahead and take this out and take a look at this. All my templates just jumped. Okay, that's all right. There we go. Isn't that cool? I love this. I absolutely love this shape. I think it's classic and it's easy to play with. Now, if I had this template, I'd go every other one, starting with the circle here, template this, and then template this rotation. And I think it would look absolutely gorgeous. All right, so let's take a look at what we're going to do is just, I want to do eight rotations for you. Then we're going to come back and we're going to fill it in with 16 because I think it's important to see how they work together. And I'm going to do some embellishment along the way too. Okay. Let's see if we have any questions or if anybody has joined us. Wow. Colleen is here from Iowa. Good morning, Colleen. And like I said, Ronnie, please keep us posted, okay? Let's see what Lee said. Lee says, I think we would enjoy a whole other class on using these templates in sashing and borders. Oh, Lee, that's a great idea. Well, let me see what I can do on that. I'm going to mark this down, though, so I don't forget. Okay. Yeah, I'm not getting any younger, and my brain isn't getting any younger with Spin-e-Fex. There we go. Okay, got it, Mark Lee. We'll see where we can put it in the grand scheme of things. Lately, I've been pretty busy. I'm really not, well, I can't tell you what I'm working on, but I've been busy. Morning, Kim. Oh, so good to see you. Di says, I agree. That would be interesting, especially since borders and sashings can vary so much in size. But it'll look at sheaves. So I know Kathy did a program on borders. I did do a program on borders, Di, and that was with the border sampler set. So I think maybe what Lee is talking about is we use some of the Spin-e-Fex and some of those other templates that aren't necessarily geared towards borders, but can be effectively and beautifully used in borders. Ah, yes, Linda, this does look pretty. Very Art Deco. Are the same angles on each end? Oh, that's an awesome question. Let's just stitch one out and take a look. Do I think they are? Yes. Are they necessarily? No. Just because I see something doesn't mean it's true, okay? I have old eyes too, right? Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to put a line here. And what we're going to do is use the same template. We're going to stitch it one way and then we're going to flip it and stitch it the other way. And what that's going to tell us is if the template has a different size on the top as it does the bottom. This is just a great way of doing it. Now we could go in and take our template or our ruler measure and all that stuff, but quite honestly, I think this is a better way of doing it. I think it's more accurate. So let's go ahead. We're going to put that down. This is a great question. Carla asked the question. Yeah, this is a great question, Carla. So what I've done here is I've gone ahead and lined up. And there we go. I think I'm getting better at making sure you guys can see what I'm doing. You know, this whole filming or live broadcasts or sessions is really very new to me. Once when I started was so steady, I never did this before. is what I mean. So it's been a learning curve, and I'm still learning. Okay, around we go. I'm going to get this thread out of the way. There we go. And I'm going to stop where I started here. Now I'm going to turn the template around. I'm going to line it up. I'm going to say it is the same, Carla. Oh my goodness, it is so close. And yes, it looks like, yes, it is the same, Carla. But that's just to answer a question that you have. Now, of course, it looks a little bit off on this side and this side. That's from me jiggling the template to take the thread off and such. But this can be used either right side up or wrong side up. Upside down, not wrong side, just upside down. Okay. Okay. Now, Nancy said she loves some border classes too. Yeah, Lisa, that's okay. You mentioned it, so I was just agreeing with you. Okay. Um. Oh, Deanna remembers the number 10 Spin-e-Fex that I did a border on. That one was a really fun one. Oh, Lee, thank you. I have a way to go though. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in here. There we go. So let's take a look. I'm going to go ahead as long as I've got this one here. I've kind of, I should have made this over here, but so I kind of messed up part of my block here, but that's okay. That's all right. We're going to just do a little something here that I think is really kind of cool. And it has to do with mixing up sizes of templates. I'm going to come up here and back to center. Okay. Up we go. I'm going to stop at the reference line and we're going to come back down. Now this one I think would be best done on an 8-point reference. I just came off the template a little bit there, but that's okay. And I'm going to stop here. Okay. So now I've got some options and I'm going to show you a couple different ways that I'm thinking would really be cool with these templates. Okay. The first one, let's go ahead and take that off. I'm going to keep it out though. You know, I need to use my ruler rack. And I'm going to put a 5.5-inch next. Okay, that would have been the 7.5-inch that I started with. Let me go ahead and get rid of this thread. I think you guys all know by now, I just hate having those threads dangling around there. I think that's a throwback from my mother. She was a good woman. Okay. So there's two ways we can go about this. One is coming in on this side and one is coming in on this side. And as far as which way you really want to go, it's a personal choice. But I'm going to show you first coming in on the side that we just stitched. Then we're going to do another couple of them with the stitching coming out on the opposite side. Oh, excuse me. I needed that caffeine. Okay, here we go. Stitch in place. And you can see how it's now starts up right on the template here, but then it comes out away. Okay. Yeah, that's. I wish I had pulled out 3 or 4 practice panels instead of just 2, guys. Because we sure could go a long way with this template. And now I'm going to put the 3.5 inch in. Okay, here we go. I'm going to come to the next rotation. Yep. And you see I'm starting with the 3.5. It's okay. I'm doing that because it's in there. And you can do all of one size, come back and add in the other sizes if you like. Okay. And by that, I mean, here, if I'm going to do all the way around, I'm going to come in like this. At the center. This is going to build up somewhat in the center. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to do one more. So we get a really good idea of how the whole process is going to look. And back to center. And there we go. I like it when I don't have to take the gates off. And with this tape, I make the hinge. This is why I put 2 lines of tape and it makes a hinge. I'm kind of lazy, I guess. And we're going to come up. This is the 5.5. We're going to come back down. Now, I've done this on 8 rotations. I've never done it on 16. So we're seeing this live for the first time that I've done it. Okay. And I hope that it works with 16, although I think it should. Okay, that's my center, and my foot needs to be readjusted. It came loose. There we go. And we're going to do one more because the first one we already did. Up we go. And back to center. There we go. Oof, that was a chore getting in on that center, wasn't it? Okay, and now we are going to take the 7.5 inch. And we're going to repeat. There we go. Once I get out of that center, it's really not a problem. And there we go. I'm going to twist my template. Walk it out of that center, okay? It just makes life easier. Much less frustrating. If you're dealing with an all mechanical machine or a new mechanical machine, it doesn't matter. Now, I think the electronic machines have a little more torque to them, so I don't think you probably need to worry about those centers as much as those of us with mechanical machines. There we go. There we go. And that's to center. Now this one, I'm not going to go all the way back to the center because this is my last rotation. So I'm just going to take some really tiny micro stitches there. I'm going to go ahead and cut my thread. There we go. And there's the bobbin. And here we go. Now that is pretty cool if I say so myself. You enjoy your day too, Ronnie, as well as you can. Hugs to you and do well. I hope everything is fine. Okay, let's go back. Carlos, I thought was just wanted to know my eyes were working this morning. Okay. Hey, hi from Florida, 101 degrees. Oh, and down in Florida, it's muggy at 101. I was in Orlando in September. Bad time to go. Lisa, good morning. Oh, good evening. I'm sorry, from South Korea. I don't think we've ever had anybody from South Korea here this morning. I'm honored. Thank you for joining us. Susie really likes this design. And you know, Carla, you're right. It looks like tall grass blowing in the wind. It does, doesn't it? Okay, looks like fireworks. Debbie, good observation. Yeah, you know, if you put a star on here, one of them from one of our starry nights, how cool would that be? It's a shooting star. I think I'm in love with this design, but I want to show you its counterpart. Now we're going to go over this, so I think that we can kind of just ignore it. Okay. So here I'm going to take my 3.5 inch out and put that on. And I'm going to grab my thread here so I can pull up my bobbin thread. Well, that center is really getting full, guys. How do you all deal with it? What I do after I'm done is I take it to my ironing board and I steam it real well. You can come here. And then I take a mallet or a tailor's clapper and hold it on. And I do like to use a wool mat under it. It does, I think it helps, but that's just me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically start with a 3.5 inch like this. And stop and cut my thread. Okay, now I think this one will work better with an 8-point rotation, so I'm just going to skip and do every other one. Okay. And one more. Yeah, just one more will do. We'll get the gist of what it looks like. There we go. Okay, that was our 3.5 inch. Now I'm going to grab my 5.5 inch. Oh my goodness, are we having fun yet? I don't know about you all, but I'm enjoying this immensely. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and go on the last one I did. And I'm not going to come in the same direction. I'm going to come from the opposite direction, stop at the line, and go back down, okay? And I'm going to turn. Now, these are going to cross over on this side, but it's going to bring out a gorgeous secondary design. And for that, we are able to do a lot of things with it. We can use our intense pencils. We can template, which would be my choice. There really is a lot. You guys have such great imaginations that I know you're going to come up with things that I never even thought of. And that brings me to a request. I'm going to make a request from you of you, I'm sorry, not from you, of you, to please post your items on Westalee by me. I think it's awesome how Stacy is using your projects to be highlighted in our weekly email. I get so excited to see them and see what you all are doing. So please definitely do that. And if it's something that's inspired by my class or my presentation, well, that wouldn't give me a thrill at all. Okay, let's see what we got here. Um, Lisa says it reminds her of a hedgehog. I think it's adorable, not weird. I love it. But you know what, Lisa, you're absolutely right. Absolutely. Kathy uses a steam and then a clapper. And Kathy, that just works really, really well. I do have a big mallet. But since I discovered Taylor's clapper, I think I'd rather use the mallet for Ken and keep the clapper first. I know if you guys believe that. Hi, Patsy. Welcome. Good morning. I'm glad you made it. Okay, Di's got a great suggestion here. It would be lots of work, but probably spectacular if you change thread color for each side, Di. I am with you 100%. I know it would be awesome. It would be. And yeah, takes a few minutes. So what? Think of what you get out of it. It's so worth it. Okay, so here is our third time going out. Stopping at the top, coming back in. And let's see what kind of secondary designs we're going to be gaining from this template, okay? Because we're going to get some. Here it comes. Oh, cool. Oh, way cool. Well, you know what? Just dawned on me. I thought you guys turned around. I need to turn myself around. Here we go. I want you to see what I'm doing. And this way. Yeah, this is really amazing. The secondary designs we're getting. And this is our 7.5 inch. So we're going to go ahead and put the 9.5 inch on that. And the 9.5 inch is going to come from the left. So this is actually looks really complicated. It's not. You can see how easily we're doing this. So here's our 9.5 inch. There we go. Slip that one on. And like I said, we are probably going to go over this. Oh, actually, we're not. But either way, we're going to pretend it's not bad. We go. Stop that line. Come back to the center. I sound like a recording. Okay. Center. Now we're going to come here. This is getting a little confusing. We have to make sure we get on the right lines. But with everything kind of going cattywampus around here, you really need to concentrate on what line you're going to and line yourself up. Oh, I didn't line that part of me up. So there we go. And up to the top. Back to the center, and you can see we're running over that previous test pattern that we did. I think I just aged myself. Test patterns. I used to hate when the test pattern came on, well, on the TV while I was babysitting, because then it was like, okay, now what do I do? So what I usually do is start cleaning. I always got invited back to babysit the same houses over and over again. Oh my goodness. Okay. So there is our 9.5. It looks like a spider, Mom, doesn't it? Okay, there we go. And there is going cattywampus, one half to the other. It's chaos if you look at it, but it's controlled chaos. Okay, when this comes all the way around, either one of these, it's going to be amazing. And truthfully, I like this one better than this one, but I can see where this one would serve a purpose in certain designs. So I'm glad we got through that and pick it up so you can see it real loud. Actually, if you flipped and did this half this way, it looks like a butterfly, doesn't it? I love it. Okay, let me check the comments, see where we're at. Oh, Lee, poor Ken. Yeah, he really is confused. Poor guy. I will let him know you said that. And Nancy was one step ahead of me. She said it would be pretty for butterflies. And yes, it would be. Joey just ordered the set. She says, I think I could do this one. Oh, yeah, of course, Joey, you can do this one. Yeah, I know you're anxiously waiting to get moved. I hope that happens soon for you. We got to get you back on your sewing machine, right? Oh, Deanna agrees with me. Looks like a spider mom flower. Okay, and Debbie says that would look cool with decorative thread. You're absolutely right, Deb. It would. And it's good to use the decorative threads. The one thing I would caution you about is you've got a real heavy center here. So working with decorative threads, you'd have to slow way down, make sure you take care of your upper tension and all of that. Thank you, Lisa. It's really neat. No, somebody. Joey remembers the test patterns too. I'm not the only old folk in the audience. Eh? Oh, yeah. We used to hate those things. Oh, and my memories keep coming back to babysitting for my aunt and uncle and the next door neighbor. And I think those are the only two places I ever babysat. But it was okay because they went out a lot. Never could figure out why when the bars closed at 2 o'clock, they didn't get home till 4 a.m. Oh, as I grew older, I understood. Okay, I'm going to put the tag in this time. Let's take a look. I mean, I could just show you basically what the templates do, but I like to show you different ways to do it. Okay, that's just me. Got the tack in. Gonna take a little drink of caffeine here. And all the way around a fountain from above. Oh, that's a good description too, Carl. I like that. Di says you could sew or just play with designs on paper. Yeah, absolutely. But we didn't know about these things back then. Actually, these weren't even invented back when I was babysitting. Okay, I'm going to start with the 7.5 inch here. Now I've got 16 reference lines ready for us. So let's take a look. Oh, you know what I do like to do though, is I like to make the 2 inch with my simple circle first. It just helps me to know how I need to get to the next line. But today we're going to do it with the template. Okay, here we go. We're going to come around on the tab. It's a 7.5 inch. I'm going to make a complete rotation. Clip my threads off here. There we go. Finish that up. Now I know what I'm going to do next. You guys have all seen me do, but I do like to throw this in here because we may have new people watching. And if you are new watching, I'd appreciate if you introduce yourself. Because we just are a big old group of people who love to ruler quilt, and we'd love to know you. Okay, so here we go. I've twisted so that the edge plate template is touching the first line of stitching. I'm going to stitch all the way to the opposite edge and stitch back. Now, if you want to remain real consistent, you could go around this twice to be sure that you're able to get that heavier line here. So let's go ahead and go here. And we're going to do that a second time. And we're going to do it one more time. Now, what's nice about doing it when you're on the pin is you don't have to worry about overloading your center with thread. Okay. And here's number 3. and back. Now we could leave it just like this if we wanted to. And let's take a look at that. Isn't that pretty? It really is. But I think I want to go a step further. And to go a step further, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to twist it in the opposite direction. So rather than twist it this way with the center, with the top of the template twisting to the left, I'm going to twist it to the right. So now what you're going to see is that center line is coming to the right. And I'm going to make 3 more passes with my template and coming towards the right. Okay, halfway down. And I'm going to stop at the top. I'm going to twist again. Like I did on this side, I'm going to twist 3 times. And back to center and one more time. What this is going to give us is a beautiful curved cross hatch. I am enamored by curved cross hatching. What can I say? I'm absolutely, totally in love with it. I think it's classic. I think it looks divine. I can't come up with enough wonderful adjectives to describe it. That's how much I really love it. Okay, so you'll see we haven't really gotten any big lumps there to make our lives difficult. So now what we're going to do, we obviously are not going to do this on 16 lines, because if we did, we're going to cut in to what we've done here. And I think it's going to kind of just make it worse, not better. Okay, there I go. Just wanted to make sure I got in here. Now to get to the next one, I'm going to just kind of hold my template and I'm going to turn my fabric until I get to that next reference line. There we go. So now, because I'm back at the I'm at the 7.5 inch. Oh, I've done this all with the 7.5 inch. I'm sorry. My mind is going someplace else already. Okay, so here we go. This time we're just going to go ahead and go around. Oh, and look, I'm not lined up. It's okay. Because this one I won't be lined up for. Back to center. Now I'm going to line up. And see how beautifully that comes together. Now I'm going to move my template about 1/4 of an inch to the left. What would be awesome is show this to somebody who's drunk. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. I went just a little further than I meant to, but that's okay. I'm going to stop right here. Excuse me, I'm going to take this out. There we go. There we go. And I'm going to put my 3.5 inch in. Well, okay. There we go. It's harder to do with the pin here. It really is. There we go. Now I'm going to go off center again. Oh, my foot let loose too. And now I'm going to center it. I'm doing the same thing I did up here, okay? And this would be a great time to use different thread colors or use a specialty thread. And I'm going to go off to the side. And there we go. And I'll go ahead and take this one out and let's see how we're doing. Okay, there we go. Okay, question. Who likes number 1 better? Okay, let's see where we're at. We're not getting old, we're just matured. You know what, Joey? I don't think I'm ever going to mature. That's too much like work. Oh, Di says she loves the cross hatching. So do I. Jean, good morning. She's joining us. Gina's joining us. Remote. Vernon, Washington. Carla loves it. Debbie says it's gorgeous. Oh, Linda, I'm so sorry you have to leave. Have a great day, okay? Lisa, okay. I'm so glad you share your mistakes. Makes me feel better about mine, gives me ideas for fixing them. Lisa, you're absolutely right. You know, I'm not perfect. I'm so far from perfect. It's not even funny. And you should know that we make mistakes. And what's interesting is we can hopefully always show you a way to remedy that mistake. Unfortunately for me, some of that means that I'm going to be getting my stitch ripper out. But there's always a way. If you really don't want to use that stitch ripper, there is a way. Okay, Deanna likes number 1 better. Okay, Susie likes number 1 better. Number one. Oh, number 1 has it. Definitely has it. Lonely Lee says it's a tie between the two. Nancy is stuck on the butterflies. The first one would make such a pretty wing, and it would. It definitely would, Nancy. Number 1, and Debbie says me. So number 1 has it. Okay, that's a good thing. So I want to come here and I'm going to put this one on. This is going to be the 7.5 inch. I want to show you what it looks like if you just do straight away the way it's supposed to be. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here. Okay. Oh, no, I've got to come this way. That's the 1 issue, well, two issues I have with this machine. One is the foot tends to vibrate loose, but also because it's a short shank machine, it's kind of sometimes a little tricky to get those templates when you're on the pin. Okay, so here we go. Take your time. There we go. Awesome. Line your template up. And around we go. Beautifully soft. You know, if you ever wanted to for a border, you could just use this half of the template and then move it up and use this half again. If you wanted to use the whole thing to make a chain out of it, and I would definitely need to be off the pin to do that to show you, you could actually come back and start it here and move forward there. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and go to another. I'm skipping over a line here. And yeah, see if I have my my 2-inch simple circle in there, it just makes it better. And I am going to go back to the line I just skipped. So you can see how beautiful the secondary designs are on here. Whoops, wrong way, Gordon. And this is where guys, I really struggle with this part of it. I always have. But it's okay. You can overcome it. For me, I've overcome it by putting the 2-inch simple circle down first. And I do practice it as well. But we all have our faults and we all have our weak spots, and this is just my weak spot. And I'm okay with it. You know, I'm not perfect. Definitely not perfect. Okay, let's try it this way. There we go. And around, we're going to go in my rotation. And we're going to stop there. Just want to give you an idea of how pretty this is. Oh, without this, of course, when you're working just strictly with the template. It's very pretty. Now, what I want to do, we talked about border. Let me show you two ideas that I have, okay? That out in case we need it again. Remember, it says 7.5. I want to use 5.5. Okay. So if you want to be very plain, a very plain border, and a lot of times you do want that because you don't want your border to overtake the beautiful quilting that you did on the main body of the quilt. But your border needs something, right? So what we can do, Here is one thing we can do. Just simply stitch from one end to the other. Stop there. Bring your template down. And repeat. Okay. That would be a very simple, easy to do border that would not be a distraction from the quilt itself. So if you wanted to make a chain, what you would do is come and make a circle, or one rotation, I'm sorry. And now we're going to come down and we're going to stop on this line. I would put an arrow here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my foot down, bring my template down until it touches the side of the foot. Let's come up this way. Now you're definitely going to want to have arrows indicating where you need to stop. And this is what I call just a very simple chain. Again, not detracting from your quilt, which is important. And there we go. Simple, less simple, but still plain, not to detract. Okay. Okay, Patsy has troubles with the circles on pins as well. Yeah, it really, for me, Patsy, what works is putting that 2-inch simple circle in the center before I get going. So that's what I've got for you guys this morning. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, because I really do enjoy being with you. I enjoy spending my time with you. I appreciate the fact that, yes, Diane, it does look like ovals. You're absolutely right. And I appreciate the fact that you actually open up and let me be here with you guys today. It's always a lot of fun. Always. I can't say there's been a time that I have not enjoyed my time with you. So before we go, I'd like to remind you to like, subscribe, and share always. That's so important to us. And I will be back on Monday because it is an even number. So it would be Monday the 4th. I will be here. And I will be working with the Donna McCauley template. I'm not really sure which one yet. And then Tuesday evening and Wednesday morning next week. So until contact information. I almost forgot to tell you contact information. Contact information is on Society.com under Elevate tab, Educators. You'll see my phone number. My email is there, and please don't be afraid to use it. Thank you, Lee, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend too. So until we meet again, let's quilt.